Hi guys, welcome to this quick video, a quick review about the G41 Smartwatch. That's the one here. It definitely looks very similar to the Apple Watch Ultra 2. You can see that here, also the orange band. I mean, of course, it's not a perfect copy, but it really looks very similar. I've been at the dentist last week and the assistant started talking about his Apple Watch. He was talking and then he was saying, yeah, he was looking also at the Apple Watch Ultra, but it seemed to be too expensive for him. And then I thought, yeah, maybe he's talking about my watch. And then I started talking to him saying the Apple Watch is too expensive or was too expensive for me too, and it doesn't work with Android. So I decided for a $30 Temu watch. And then he was admitting that he started talking about that because he was thinking that's the Apple Watch Ultra 2. Okay, so I've been wearing this now for about 1 month. Usually I'm testing smartwatches just for a couple of days. So this is a little bit longer experience and I'm super happy with it actually. If you just want to know if it's a good or bad watch, I can definitely give a thumbs up for this watch. I mean, it's definitely not perfect, but I would say it's one of the very best smartwatches, definitely in a price range up to $50, maybe even $100. I'm really super happy with it. By the way, I'm coming from this $300 Mobvoi Tick watch. That's the 3 Ultra GPS whatsoever, $300, and it is running with the Android Wear 2.0. And unfortunately, the Google Voice Assistant doesn't work anymore. That's crazy. Mobvoi always has been promising upgrades and it didn't happen, so the voice assistant doesn't work anymore. And because I had already some problems like with the alarms, I wanted to have a very convenient alarm which I could turn off just with a button press during the night, and that's not possible with Android Wear, so I wanted to have something else, and this did exactly the job. So as an app, we have the H band, which is not a proprietary app. This is an app which is working for a lot of watches. And so it usually does a really good job on showing you everything about what you do: sports, sleep, heart rate, blood pressure, even some female cycling stuff, blood oxygen level, HRV. You can see if you are in a healthy range or not. And it shows even blood glucose level. And of course, these things are not only showed here, but also you can see them here when you swipe to the right side. It shows also pretty much everything. And the good thing, it monitors this the whole time, and even when you have turned everything on, all the tracking, everything, so it will monitor every like 5 minutes or so. The battery still lasts for about 4 days. If you turn these things off, then of course it will last even longer. We can check how many times it's measuring. You can see that here. Yeah, maybe this one here is not so often. You can see 335, then 345, 55, yeah, every 10 minutes. Maybe different thing with the heart rate. Can we see the detailed numbers? Yeah, I haven't been checking that, but you can see you get really a lot of information here. I mean, of course, there's always the discussion how reliable this is, and I would say, yeah, it's definitely not the most reliable sensor, but I could definitely see a change. When I was active, it was showing higher numbers, and if I was resting, then it was showing usually lower numbers. Of course, the blood glucose level, yeah, that's something which is probably not very accurate. Sometimes I had the impression that it's totally off, then I want to prove it, and it failed because it was then reacting on what I'm eating. And when I wanted to prove that it's working, it did not. So but definitely not something which you can really rely on. These are things, by the way, on the right side. You can also measure this right away. What you have here on the left side is an interesting menu. That's also something which a lot of newer watches have, this menu. But I've seen watches which show the last used apps here, but that's not here. Here we have just the sound, we have the alarm, or what's that? Stopwatch. Why the stopwatch here? I have really no clue. Then we have the flashlight. We can turn it on, turn it off. I mean, it's just the screen in full brightness. And then we have also the Google Voice Assistant. You can see that's working. So I can just tap here. Hey Google, what's the weather?
It's 18 and cloudy. Today it'll be rainy with a high of 19 and a low of 13.
And I've tried it already a lot and it usually worked really good. We also have the phone here. We can use the keypad, we have contacts, we have even call history. And so it will then use the microphone and speaker from this smartwatch, and that's really working good. I mean, of course, not the quality of an Apple Watch, but definitely very useful, absolutely no problem.
Smartwatch, microphone test, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
We have also some different watch faces already here built in on this watch. We can even use our own images, and here I've even added the QR code from the gym, so I don't have to bring my phone when I go to the gym. So usually I'm using this one. There's not a huge variety of watch faces. I've definitely seen smartwatches with more watch faces, but for me this one is definitely okay. Then here on the top we have the status menu. You can see do not disturb, phone calls, battery, brightness. There's no automatic brightness, but there's a huge variety between doing night and day. Usually I have it on the lowest setting and I can easily see it inside. When you put it on the highest brightness, you can easily see it also outside in the sun, but no sensor built in for automatic adjustment. And the screen on time can be switched between 60-second maximum and minimum is 3 seconds, but it doesn't have an always on display. I mean, it's not an AMOLED display. It also doesn't have wireless charge. We have different options as the menu style. You can see I'm using grid here. You can also change that here, watch information, also the flashlight here, even calculator here in the status menu. And when we go down, we have the notification. For example, this one here. There are not a lot of notifications stored, maybe around 6, 7, 8, something like that. Not a lot, maybe that's a small complaint, but usually there's enough of information. We can delete single ones or all of them. Then we have the full menu. When we push here, you can see, I'm not going to show you all the menus, but of course we have the fitness, which we can start right from here. Then we have the blood oxygen. We have a lot of health things. Most of them we have already seen on the right side. Things which I've been using, phone call, of course, music control. Then this notification. Also a lot of things which you already had. Weather information. Then the stopwatch and the timer. Timer is pretty cool. It has some predefined options, not many, but you can use also your own time up to, I think, 24 hours. And when you start it here, you can go back to the main screen, do something else, and it will still count down in the background and alert you. That's really cool. But there's also another option to go back. I mean, of course, a lot of people would go just to the menu and then push here. What's also good is that the menu stays exactly where you left it last time. But there's also another option, and that's absolutely awesome. We have actually a task manager. We can push 2 times, can see, then it brings up the last used apps. I've never seen that before. In a $30 smartwatch, you can see it has been counting down in the background. That's really good. I think we have to stop it here. We have also a recurring timer. Then here we have the alarms, which we can set directly here in the watch, or activate or deactivate. Of course, we can also do that here. We have a lot of options here, of course. Most things, or even a little bit more, we can set here. Yeah, something maybe regarding notifications. That's important. Notifications can be huge difference between the different smartwatches. A lot of cheap smartwatches have just a very limited variety of apps where they can provide notifications. Here with the H band we have the full set of apps. That's a huge advantage. We can click that here. We can see already some predefined ones on the first page. can activate, deactivate them, but if we want more, we can just activate that here. Then click on other apps and it will show all the apps which you have installed on your smartphone, and so you can activate or deactivate them. You can see I have about 300 apps here and I can choose what notifications I want. That's pretty cool. Maybe some disadvantage, of course, it's not in alphabetic order, but at least we have them. I mean, the information here is pretty good. We can also go back to yesterday with all the information, or 2 days ago, but we have also something which would be really interesting. That's the thing here, which would give us a weekly, monthly, yearly overview, but it always shows no data. There seems to be a problem with that. Of course, we have also more settings here. You can see that here, not going into that. The only thing I think which I want to show you is the switch setting. That's very important. So here we can turn on and off the automatic measuring of the heart rate, the blood pressure, blood oxygen, blood glucose, and the sleep. And when we turn these things off, then of course the battery will last much longer. Of course, we have also a raise to wake, I mean wrist gesture. And also important here that we can limit that to a certain time. So for example, here I finish at midnight, and so during the sleep, no matter what I do, the watch won't wake up. That's something really important. And I would say the watch is good quality build, good display, really good touchscreen, one of the best touchscreens in this price range, good visibility, very comfortable watch band. By the way, I think it's a 22 millimeters. You can replace it with any 22 millimeter standard watch band. Then further down, yeah, that's the function to search for the phone, Google Assistant, settings again, then even some games. We have 2 games which you can play. Yeah, I'm really bad here, of course. Turn off, and yeah, the watch faces again. By the way, watch faces, we have these 2 choices which we have already on the watch, but we have more. I mean, we can customize that, so you can upload an image, which I have done here with the QR code for Jim, but you can also access the face gallery here. There's not a huge gallery, I would say, for such a smartwatch. It's rather a small gallery. It doesn't have very impressive watch faces, but there are a couple of them available, maybe some which could be interesting for you. And as far as I can see, I think all of them are free, but now we are fully down. You can see maybe how many are there. Yeah, maybe 100 or so. Not a huge variety, but at least we have some, but I'm good with that. Something which I think is not changeable, and that's the vibration strength, but the vibration strength for me was absolutely perfect. So the watch has been waking me up, usually very reliable in the morning, just with the vibration here from the watch. One thing I have to mention, when I started using it, the watch turned off 2 times during the night, just for no reason. I would say, at least for me, there was no reason. Once it was about 50% charged, once it was even around 95% charged, so almost full charge, and it just turned off for no reason. Couldn't find what it is. I was talking to the seller and they also didn't know, but this happened only 2 times, and it's about 1 month ago, and it didn't happen again. So I would say at the moment it works really, really reliable. Definitely one of the best smartwatches below $100 for sure. Also beautiful one, really nice. Comes of course with the watch band, comes also with the magnetic charger for the back and the free app. Lot of functions, very useful, almost nothing missing unless you need really wireless charge. Always on display. Other than that, it has really everything what we can expect these days. Maybe also important to know for you regarding the crown, you can see it's rotatable, so we can not only push, we can also double push, and we can rotate, but the rotation doesn't have any impact. Also, when we go to the menu, you can see it doesn't scroll up or down. I haven't seen any reaction on rotating, so I think it doesn't measure the rotation. I actually wanted to provide the link where you can buy it on Temu, but unfortunately I think at the moment it's not available there anymore. But if you are interested, just Google for G41 smartwatch and you will definitely find some listings. Unfortunately, you can't buy it on Amazon. I think it looks just too similar to the Apple Watch, and so probably Amazon won't allow to sell this watch there. So you have to deal with Temu or other online stores. Yeah, that's it for now. If you have any questions or comments, just write to the comment section below, and I'm always happy to talk about these things. And if you like the video, give me a thumbs up, subscribe my channel. Thanks for watching. See you next time.